Warum schießt nicht? Oh, ich kann nicht.
Bunch of Crunch Army, where you at? Your motivation guy is back. This is Vidil, okay? So Vidil is currently being called the best fighter in Europe, not just by the community, but by pros themselves. And when they say best fighter, they actually mean it, guys. Seriously, like when was the last time you saw someone do this to face Mongrel?
They're fighting, bro. They're fighting in risky.
Yeah, they're fighting the solo.
I scored box like a fish! What?!
Yeah, Vidil is just plain scary. And throughout the past year, he went from becoming an unknown up-and-comer to being an established tournament winner with a reputation for slaughtering the greats in his region. So, how did this guy suddenly become one of the most revered fighters in the world? And what special something does he have that makes all of his competitors absolutely dread the thought of encountering him? Well, you're gonna find out today, guys. I'm so excited to get this going, man. We're gonna go over exactly Vidil and like who he really is and what makes him such a terrifying competitive player. And I really hope this inspires you to never give up on your dreams. Here we go.
Vidil's foray into Fortnite's esports began in 2019. Okay, so back then, he was still considered a beginner, just dipping his toes into the comp scene. And although he made some fantastic strides in his development as a player, his placements were still just too unremarkable for him to really make a name for himself. But in 2020, things took a dramatic turn. Vidil shaped up and placed 4th in the first Cash Cup of the year, which earned him a cool $1,250. But to prove that he wasn't a joke, he followed up strongly in the next few months with not 1, but 2 more 4th place Cash Cup wins. And it was around after these wins that his status as an elite fighter began to really take form. So as the year went on, Vidil teamed up with 2 equally brilliant fighters, Noah Rayleigh and Reason A. What happens when you take 3 top fighters and put them all on the same team? Well, to no one's surprise, you get one of the most talented and fierce groups to ever grace the European servers. And together, they won multiple Cash Cups and finished top 10 in other events, and in almost a very short span. Still, I mean, this wasn't so much like how they placed, but it was like the way they did it. Constantly W-King even up to 55 kills, man. Hard dominating drop spots with no hoots given, and showing almost 0 respect in game, no matter who it was they were up against. And when it came time to split for duos, Vidil and Noah convincingly took first place in DreamHack November. Arguably, like one of the most challenging events out there. And after that, they grouped up together with World Cup legend Aqua, which is where Vidil's current trio now stands. So fast forward to today, all right, and Vidil's popularity is starting to skyrocket because of just how overly jaw-dropping his fighting skills are. Which is the reason I'm sure that you guys clicked on this video. So, why is Vidil considered the best fighter? Well, to break it down, like, he's got the entire package, all right? Everything from his aim and building to his movement and situational awareness is nearly flawless. And it makes him excel in the very high-octane fights that occur at pro levels. Not to say that he's perfect, all right? I mean, he's definitely got flaws just like anybody, but when it comes to skills tied to fighting, he definitely exudes talent, probably the best we've ever seen. Even more than our coaches, which you should definitely hit up if you want to get good at Fortnite like right now. So talking specifics, okay, there are 3 key areas where we think Vidil is just a cut above the pros. The first one being arguably the #1 skill to have in Fortnite, piece control. So without a doubt, Vidil is a piece control legend.
Oh mein.
Ja, ich hab zum ersten Mal einen Clip! Let's go!
Not only does he have the knowledge to know precisely what pieces should be placed at what times, but he manages to execute it so crazy fast and really honestly with like surgical precision. And it makes our head spin, bro. I mean, let's take a look at the Mongrel clip again, like this time from Vidil's perspective. So if we were in Vidil's shoes here, and I mean like right here, not a single one of us would just likely think of side jumping out like this, but Vidil takes the risk. He does the side jump. He also instantly walls, edits it open for stair control, and Mongrel Classics the man himself. Imagine getting killed by the move that you made popular. That's crazy. I mean, just look at Reason's reaction. Man, yo, that says it all. Now, performing each of these techniques on their own isn't like the craziest thing in the world. What is crazy is Vidil's ability to not only combine those moves, but to pull them off without making any mistakes in the span of like 1 second. Seriously, guys, like, this is against Mongrel we're talking about. Like, you'd expect him to win most fights, and yet he got absolutely destroyed here. I know this is just like one clip, but the fact that Vidil recognized this opportunity and Mongo didn't see it at all just shows you really how far ahead Vidil is when it comes to using piece control to utterly annihilate his opponents. So yeah, Vidil is like a piece control legend right now, but he shines bright in more areas than just that. The next one being his positioning. Check this out. How Vidil moves around and positions his character in fights is just out of this world, bro. Like, without breaking a sweat, he could take on 2 or even more players at the same time, and he just straight up just has them tripping on their own feet. And that's largely due to the way he sets himself up with builds and edits. The angles he attacks from are always so one-sided in his favor. It's as if he knows exactly how to create that crucial right-hand peek to no matter what situation he's in. Not only that, but he's almost always on the move. He never attacks in the same manner or from the same direction more than once, and navigates build fights as if they're in an apartment complex he's lived in for 10 years. And some of his peaks are honestly so creative and original that the most refined players, like literally the greats of all time, completely get surprised by him.
So, Aqua versucht jetzt.
I really don't know what it is. Like, Vidil's IQ is crazy high. I mean, he might as well have mind reading abilities for all we know. I mean, if you ever encounter this guy, good luck making a play because he'll probably predict it. Something like 2 games in advance before you're even in the same lobby as him. The last key area, man, that I want to look at though is confidence. Woof. Now, as your motivation guy always says, man, confidence is key. And I try to instill that in you guys every chance I get. And you gotta be confident in order to be successful, not only in this game, but also in life. Confidence is everything. So if you haven't noticed by now, Vidil basically doesn't even care at all. Like, in his mind, he's the predator. Every opponent is the prey, and his only goal is to get the elimination. And in a tournament setting, oh my goodness, it makes no difference how decorated or established his competition is. Vidil doesn't care at all. He's like a crazy man, right? Vidil will like alpha his drop spot. Simply put, fear is not in his vocabulary. He possesses this like crazy confidence, this bold faith in his own abilities that's really truly rare. Even the best pro players eventually feel tense and just end up second guessing themselves in high stakes situations. But Vidil, oh my goodness, it's like it doesn't even happen.
Critical crack on one and the other comes in to finish. And looks like Andy does not want any of this. He's gonna try to sand tunnel out. Actually, sand tunnels to a better position, tries for a high ground retake, but gets cracked right in the jaw. And now down without any shield. Now Quinton's gonna have to save his teammate. Andy goes down. Vidil deals way too much damage for Andy to handle. It looks like Noah Riley and Vidil are gonna steamroll.
And that's the amazing part because it just lets him play at his own pace and consequently forces his opponents to keep up. And we know by now that almost none of them can. We've seen similar hyper-aggressive playstyles in the past, but Vidil's taken it to another level unlike anybody else. And with all that said, there's still one more unanswered question we gotta talk about. You guys ready? Bunch of Crunch Army, here we go. As we talked about earlier, Vidil wasn't playing a Fortnite competitive level 2 years ago, like many of the older veteran pros were. He only picked it up in 2019, and even then, he was a bit of an amateur, really. It was only in 2020, and more recently in the past several months, when Vidil finally started picking up stream. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking, like, how did he improve so fast? This should be the question of the day. Like, how did he improve so fast? Well, we always say to surround yourself with the right players if you guys want to improve, and it seems like Vidil's taking that to heart. He's got Noah, Aqua, Reason, all these incredible fighters as friends. So when he's not focusing on his homework, he's constantly battling with these guys or against them in creative. He learns from them, right? They help each other out. They help each other fix mistakes, which leads to everybody improving a lot and really fast. Whether it be intense zone wars or realistic 1v1s, his way of training is like the perfect formula for creating a top-tier fighter. It's the best kind of training that you can get, really. And it's really no wonder that he shot his way all the way up to the top of the leaderboards. Anyways, Vidil's just an incredible player, man. Like, the pro players were definitely correct in calling him the best fighter in Season 4. And honestly, from what we can tell, he's just reinventing the way the game is played at a high level, at least in a subtle fashion. And also, how quickly he's risen to prominence defies all the odds, man. And I think there's a really good reason so many of us can appreciate his story, because he represents two amazing things about competitive Fortnite. First, that an unknown player can prove their worth on their own. Vidil recently tweeted how he was on the verge of quitting because he wasn't meeting his expectations. But you know what? He pulled through in December with 2 huge tourney wins and showed the world that if you got the skill and of course the right ping, we won't deny that you can make it to the top. To get picked up by an org and live the dream as long as you put in that effort, as long as you put in that grind. And the second, he perfectly demonstrates just how much skill a game like Fortnite really takes. Despite how crazy good pros have gotten, we still haven't even reached the pinnacle of what players are capable of. We think every day that there's no way pros can keep improving, but as Vidil shows, and there's still plenty of room. And that right there makes us very excited, not only for Vidil's future, but for the future of Fortnite esports itself. And all I gotta say is, man, you guys better keep grinding. You better not stop. You see a story like this, man, you can't put yourself in a box. You can't quit on yourself. You can't compare yourself to others and say, I'm never gonna be as good as them. No, you could do anything that you put your mind to, that you put your heart to. It's time to level up. It's time to go to the next level.
Bunch Crunch Charme, that's it for today's video. Okay, what did you guys think about Vidil? Like, you guys gotta check him out if you guys haven't already. I'm telling you, he's about to pop off in 2021. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, spread the word. We're almost there at 1 million subscribers. And once we reach that point, we're gonna release the story of how I made it to become your motivation guy. Hey, you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.